Hi, and welcome back to Chilling with Cheeseweasel. We are in part two of my tour of Desert Mountains, also known as Sagehin Mesa. We are going to be looking at all the empty houses that are available if you decide to download this save file, and also we'll take a look at all of the community lots. But today we're going to start out by looking at the Tabor household. This is where Dr. Ellen, the psychiatrist, lives. So we are going to switch to her. Okay, here she is. And this is her house. This is the downstairs. This is her offices. So come in here. This is the waiting room area. I've had her throw open house parties here too, and the guests or the people she invited would all come and hang out. We've got a little stereo, and over here is where she has her sessions, and she also works here. So you got the couch, the psychiatrist couch. Lots of times, though, they prefer to just sit in the chairs and talk to each other. She has a computer over here, and she makes her living writing books, self-help books. The last ditch over here, they have a Sparky who can help alter the mind a little bit or help her analyze somebody's brain if they're not as forthcoming with their issues. Over here, we do have some potions, things like invigorating for those that are fatigued all the time, Violet Bliss for depression. In the future, I have a little alchemy station back here and teach her alchemy, and she comes up with different potions that can be used to help treat ailments. There's some bathrooms right here. And then the stairs go up to her living quarters, and she can lock the door so that if there is an open house, they can't come in here and sit down, watch TV, and take a bath in her bathtub and that kind of thing. But she has this little apartment. It's got a nice little kitchen and a counter here. There's usually a couch here. I don't know why it's not here, but apparently it isn't. And yeah, everything else seems to be present. So just a little love seat goes there. This is her spare bedroom in case she wants to take in a roommate or have a guest over. And they have their own little bathroom here. And then over here is her bedroom. And she has her own little ensuite too. And then there's just a little powder room when you first come in. So that's basically her house. Now, how the psychiatry thing works, like I said, she is a psychiatrist who writes books, self-help books. So I usually have her writing a book about whatever the latest issues were with whoever. She just doesn't name names, of course, because that would be unprofessional. But also, I think there are some books in here that I'd sorted out. Some of these would be good for issues with mental health. Warning Signs of Insanity, I think that's one she wrote. Good Grief, she wrote that one. Anyway, so she has some books in here that are things that she sometimes gifts to people. If she's good friends with them or talks to them to the point where they can become good friends, she might send them home with a book to help sort their issues out. So that's what we got for her. And this is a private residence, but like I said, she will invite people over, make appointments, so to speak, and invite them to come over, and they have a little talk, and then we work out whatever their issues were. All right, so we're going to move on now and take a look at the empty houses and go from there. So I will go ahead and show you a little bit about the other houses that we have that are empty and available for people to move into. The first one we have over here is the lodge, and it's one I built a long time ago. It's based on a drawing that one of my cousins did of a real house, and I think I just have to open each one of these, right? Because nobody lives here. Okay, so you come in through here. Here's the door. They have this big patio, two-level patio, barbecue, and a hot tub. But you come in here, you got the fireplace, you got a little dining area and a little TV area back in the corner here. You got a bathroom, and you got a bedroom over here for kids. And then over here on the other side is the master, and it has its ensuite. And they have this little kitchen with a little dining nook, breakfast nook or whatever. There are some stairs that go up to a little gaming room up here. You got foosball and some books you can read, a little reading corner, another bathroom, and art thing. And there is a door that goes into this for storage. It's probably pretty narrow in here. I never did build walls in there. I probably should. But there's not a whole lot of space in there. But if you needed to just store holiday stuff or whatever, you could do that in this one. But anyway, that is the lodge. Okay, and as we're going down for the next house, I'm going to stop over here for a minute. This is the mine where Cliff goes to mine. There are some spawners and things around here. He's got his little drilling thing. He doesn't really own this right now, so you probably have to use the drill that's over on his property. He needs to bring it with him and drill. You can make him purchase this if you want. Eventually I did do that, but I think it's a public lot right now. Doesn't say what it is, but it looks like it's a public lot. So anybody can come here and collect things, but don't let Cliff catch you doing it. He'll beat you up. Then we come down this way. This is the next vacant house. This is one of my favorites. If I was to live in a house that I built, this would be the one I would want because my knees aren't good, and this is a nice little single level, kind of cute. There we go. Okay, so you've got a little garage here. It's detached. And then you have basically just a kind of a main living area. I wonder if I can just kind of scoot in here. Okay, so there's the kitchen and the little living area. And then if you come over here, you got this nice little view. It's a little dining area. Okay, and then let me see if I can tilt this up. We've got a bedroom over here, a bathroom that's a common bathroom. Here's another bedroom, and here's the master. And then they have an ensuite. And they have like little double sinks out here. But that's basically it. Pretty simple, pretty easy to play in and that kind of thing. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. And this one, like I said, I built it off of a floor plan that I found. Okay, since we're here, coming down the street, you can see the equestrian center. This one is based on the equestrian center in Appaloosa Plains, but I removed the rabbit hole and I built it back in Appaloosa Plains in one of my games, and I decided to use it here as well. And it looks like here's the rabbit hole rug, so you can do things you want to do. For some reason, that wasn't working here for me. So what I had to do is I put it inside the arena. Let's come in here, take a quick look. I turned it into more of a rodeo sort of thing. We've got some concession stands here. This is where Lucille, the doctor's wife, was going to come and volunteer. And I think there's lights, but I'm not seeing them. But anyway, I've got it set up. I tried to make it do barrel racing the way barrel racing's supposed to do, but this is where the horses would come out. You'd run through here and you go through here, and it just runs around the barrels. It doesn't do the way it's supposed to do it, But they do run around the barrels. And so we've got the bull riding thing over here. We've got a little bar, some bathrooms. Like I said, we have concession stands. Over here, people can come and sit and watch the festivities. But that's basically what we got here. And what I did with the rabbit hole rug is I just put it like right in here somewhere. And so they could come in here and do things. If this doesn't work for you, I just move it and it should be fine. It worked in Appaloosa Plains sitting there, but for some reason it didn't want to work here. All right. We've been to the Culpepper's house down that way. And we've taken a look at the Sears houses over here in the pit stop. So the other house on this street is the Franklin. It's also based on a floor plan, and I built this one as well. It's got a 2-car garage. Okay, so this is another single level house. It's got a master here with an ensuite, and this one I think has a walk-in shower. Now, you may have to adjust the walk-in shower no, this one should work because you get in on this side. So there's the walk-in shower, the master, and then we've got the common bath, and we've got a kids room here, and we've got a nursery. And then in here, try to slide down here so we can get kind of a bird's eye view, or not a bird's eye, the opposite of a bird's eye. We'll just kind of take a little walk around down here. It's an open floor plan as well. So living area, dining areas over here. And then we've got this kitchen over here. And then I think through here we have a laundry room. Yep, laundry room, mud room. And that goes into the garage, I believe. Yep, into the garage. So that's basically how that one works. Okay, moving on. Okay, so that's all the houses down here. There is one farmhouse that is open if you wanted to be in the farm area. So we will come and look at the town here in a little bit, but let's move up here. There's the dairy. Here's the farmhouse that's open and available. It's right across from the Lopez's. And open. Okay, so it's a 2-story. Come in here. You've got your living area. You've got a little dining area in here in the kitchen. And then you go upstairs. Over here's a big bedroom, a main bedroom, and there's a bathroom here. It's not an ensuite though, it's just that's the common bathroom. And you go upstairs, we have another one here, and we have a kids room, and we have kind of a little game room. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And then it's got a barn that comes with it. And it's got a little gardening area out here. Nothing's planted there, but you could plant stuff if you wanted to. But this one's got place for 2 horses here. And it's got a little training area as well. But that's what you get if you want to move out here. I've got a couple more houses here. So let's take a quick look here. This one is a crazy cat lady house. It's called Carnival Cottage. And it was made by Fatness 1974. So it can also be found on the exchange. And it was made originally for a crazy cat lady. I didn't change anything in it. So let's just open it up real quick. It's really colorful and pretty inside. And she also has some little gardens out here to the side too. But you can see it's pretty colorful. There's lots of stuff for cats, a lot of cat themed things in here. And it's got 1 bedroom, or is it 2 bedrooms? 1 bedroom, 1 office, and it's got a little bathroom area here. But if you love cats, this would be the house for you, especially if you were a single cat lady. And the other one is across the street here. Okay, this one, it was originally yellow, and it came from, I'm suspecting it came from Lucky Palms. I don't have Lucky Palms, but I did find this on the exchange, and it looked like something that would be found in Lucky Palms. And there were several versions of it, so I don't know who made this particular one, or if they just did a little bit of exterior changing on it. Because the inside looks very EA. I figured I wanted a starter house in here that you could land in if you needed to. But you can see it's pretty bare bones. It's kind of googie, kind of messy. But it doesn't have a lot. It's got one bedroom and a bathroom and a kitchen, an open area here, kitchen and living area. But if you wanted to just land in here and try the rags to riches sort of thing, you could do that. I would recommend, though, if things start to crash, if you play this, go into the other households, empty their inventories, sell off all the stuff they bought in their common inventory, and that would usually speed things up a little bit if it starts getting laggy. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the downtown. So let's move back over here. Okay, we've seen the pit stop, so we'll skip that one. This is an EA training ground. I haven't changed anything. It might have been there originally, if I recall. There might have been one or maybe even two training grounds in here. This is the Civic Center. It's got 3 buildings on it. You can see this building looks a little bit more worn. This building I did not create the shell. It came from Rose Ward. And Rose Ward is an apocalyptic world that was created by Nigelkins. And it can be found on Tumblr. I really like the world. Basically, there's a lot of these buildings. Some of them, they're in various states of disrepair. Some of them are completely rubble. Some are partial rubble. Some are empty. A lot of them are empty. And what I did is, in my game, is I renovated the buildings and kind of turned it back into a town, brought the town back to life. But anyway, this is the hospital. And you can see that it came from a building that was not in one piece, let's put it that way. I have a little meditative garden area back here for those that, if you're in the hospital and you need a break, want to come sit out here, you have a loved one in the hospital, you can come kind of chill out here and get your head straight. But then over here, this is the police department. So let's move on down. And I've got rabbit hole rugs, and like I said, they're interactable. So let's start over here. We'll start with the military section. There really isn't much. It's just kind of a little recruiting station. And we've got some bathrooms. There's one on this side, one on this side. This side is the police rabbit hole. And this is like little greeting area, office area. You go upstairs and you have the interrogation room over here. You have the jail cells and you have a break room over here. And over here is the private eye's office. So you can do all of that here if you want to. I do have some private eyes in the town that come over here and use that office and hang out and talk with the police and that kind of thing. Over here, like I said, this is the hospital. I showed you the back of it. Let's take a look at the rest of it. So you come in through here. This is the hospital rug. And I'm going to probably change the perspective here for a minute. Okay, so you'd come into the hospital. It's kind of slow going here. And there's the desk where you check in. Here's the waiting area, bathrooms. There's the rug. And there's also an elevator over here. And that would take you upstairs. And then upstairs, I like the thing on top, but it just shows through all the time. Okay, there's a little sitting area over here. Here's the nursery for babies. If you have babies and want to have them at the hospital, you can come in here and take some photos and stuff like that for storytelling. Here is the room, the hospital room, and it's got its own little ensuite bathroom. And we go up one more floor. Oop, I keep clicking out of my window. All right, I don't know. I like the hospital thing on top, but it just gets in the way. All right, in here, kind of an operating room. And we've got another room for somebody if they're like really, really sick, kind of an ICU sort of thing. You can run some tests in here. And then there's also the staff room down in there. So it's got some lockers, some vending machines, that kind of thing. That's the hospital. So now let's move over here. This is the library on the bottom floor. And then we have the city hall on the upper floor. So this is the librarian's desk. We got lots of bookshelves and tables. There's some bathrooms back behind the stairs. We got some skill books. I know a lot of the EA libraries don't have the skill books, which drives me nuts. And then here's the little kids room over here. So there's some books and little seating and games and things like that that they can play. So if you have a little kid you want to bring to the library, you can do that. So up here, this is the city hall. Maybe if I click on an adult, you get more choices when you're an adult. This is the mayor's office. This is a conference room. In my game, a lot of people come to the conference room and hang out and talk and discuss things. There's an empty room here that can be used for whatever. And then there's some bathrooms. And then over here, there's a presentation room. And I have had, like when Jolene graduated and stuff like that in my game, I had her come over here. She was a valedictorian, and so she came over and gave a little speech, and her friends and family sat here and listened to her. It was kind of cute. But anyway, that is the Civic Center. Let's move across the street. This is the park that the builder of the town had here. Nothing much has changed except this used to be a pond, very much like this pond over here. And I put in a playground instead because I thought that we needed some more stuff to do here that wasn't redundant. So we've got a picnic area, we've got a playground, we've got another little picnic table over here. This is fishable and skatable in the winter. And we've got some horseshoes over here too. So that's what you can do if you go to the park. Across from the park, we've got the fire station. This is built on the footprint of a rose ward. It was a building that's pretty much rubble. There was a few walls standing, and that was about it. So I took it and converted it into a fire station and a pub restaurant sort of thing for Rose Ward, and then I decided to use it here as well. But so you got your fire engine here. This is the fire station side, and they've got a little kitchen. You can't put a real stove in these places, but I did put the baker's oven in here, so they can actually make food here if they want to. They can cook. Then on this side, we got a calzone over here, but Okay, let's continue with the fire station. So you go upstairs. Let's turn on all the lights. so we can see a little better. This is where they sleep. Here's their bathrooms. They can work out, play pool, and that kind of thing. And then on the other side is the pub. And let's see, try to figure out the best way to show you the pub. I'm thinking we'll just come down here. We'll put the walls up so you kind of get a better idea what it looks like. So there's some tables out here. Now, for this pub, it's not marked as a pub, so people don't normally go here unless they're firemen. But there is this little pizza area. So you can make yourself pizza, calzones. You can sit here. I used a little CC there to kind of represent this is a brewery sort of place. So maybe they're making some beer or something over there. And then over here is the bar section. And it's just a simple little bar. There's usually a bartender here. I got some music. You can go upstairs. And if you go upstairs, you've got a pool table here, and you also got karaoke. And then the bathrooms are through there. But there's a few little seats here so you can sit and, play pool or watch the karaoke. But anyway, that is this pub. Like I said, mostly it's the firemen because they go to the firehouse. It's marked as a firehouse lot. But you can invite people over and come here as a group and hang out and have fun. All right, so let's go on to the next one. So we're at the firehouse. You can go down here to the corner store, the corner market. And you'll notice it's not really on a corner here, but it was when I built it in Adventureland. It was a corner grocery store. So it's got a little parking lot, and then if you open it up, here's the rug. And it's also got a little register here. You can see a little change in the flooring here. This is operational. You can come in here, your Sims will come in here, other Sims will come in here, and they will buy whatever. You can purchase this stuff. He can come and buy the summer squash, or he can buy the detergent, or the rubber ducky, or he can buy the cookie jar, or one of these fake pies. I think you can buy it. Well, maybe not. Maybe you have to buy the whole display. Okay, well, anything in there, I guess, is off limits because it thinks it's a display. But you can buy this. And then this is store content. You can purchase things from the stand, too. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to send him over here. All right. But yeah, so it's functional, and the people do come and they do buy. And when I jump around from household to household, like I'm prone to do, I often have to go into their family inventories and see what they bought, and probably sell a lot of the stuff that they bought. I don't necessarily play worrying about their budgets and, rags to riches and keeping track of their money. So they do kind of get more money that way because they buy stuff and it doesn't really count against them, and then I sell the stuff and it goes into their account. So if you don't care about the budget, then that's fine. I'm more about the story than the budget when I play. Okay, so you can go ahead and close that. The next one down here, this is the Wayside Mercantile. And I built this for Another World too, and I use this building quite a bit in my worlds because I just like it. You can kind of look through the windows here, see the displays. It's the consignment store on the bottom, and upstairs it kind of depends on what I make it. Right now I have it as a salon. But I turn on the lights. Okay, and this is also a functional store. So anything that's sitting on one of the rugs can be purchased. Here we go. So you'd come in through here. And there is a consignment register, the regular consignment register, so you can sell things here and stuff like that. But, you know, if you wanted to buy a video camera, you can buy a video camera. You can play the guitars. You can buy things off of the tables and the shelves. And they do. They do buy things here. So, anyway, that's what we've got down here. And then upstairs, I have it set up for the stylist station. If you decide you're going to be a stylist, you'll probably just be a self-employed stylist, and you may have to change the lot to get the job, and then you just have to make sure you come over here to do stuff. But it also has the salon here, so you can do the stuff from the salon rabbit hole. And then I just have it set up over here so it looks like you can like get a facial or whatever. But yep, that's what we got here. Okay, and then over here across the way, we have the shopping center. This is called the High Plains Shopping Center. I built it for Appaloosa Plains at one time, but it's pretty versatile. It was, I think it's kind of an empty shell if you download it from my studio on the Exchange. But then I just put whatever shops I want in it. So in this case, we've got a coffee shop, or pretty much a coffee shop. It's got sweet treats in it. Over here, we have a florist shop. And like the other ones, let me move down here. It is also interactable. You can see the flooring's a little, I disguised the rugs as much as I could, but you can buy all these bouquets and things like that. So all this stuff is purchasable. And the wine, I think, might be, I can't remember them buying wine here, but people come in and they buy stuff here too. So. And then upstairs, I put the bistro rug. And I've also got this thing from Into the Future. So there are waiters on the lot. And if you click on this and you decide you want to eat outside, you can come out to these tables or to these tables out here and eat. And a lot of them will even go down here and eat down at these tables. So I may rethink whether I want a coffee shop and a bistro in the same place. I may move the coffee shop at some point down the road. And then over on this side, we have a bookstore at the bottom, and there's the book rug. We've got the book register too, so you can buy books this way, or you can buy books this way, or you can just come read it, treat it like a library. And then up above is just an empty storefront, so you could change it, turn it into whatever floats your boat. So you just come up the stairs and go on in. That's got a single stairway. This one does too. What I would do, and I may have done this later on, is make this a double stairway, because people tend to get stuck up here. They run into each other, gets overcrowded, people can't move. So a double stair is better. I kind of think I fixed it later on, but anyway, just heads up on that one. Okay, next thing, if we go over here, we've got the school. This is just a rabbit hole, so we're not going to worry about that much. But up above, you can see Kind Dairy. If you're familiar with Sims 2 and Strange Town, there was a creator that made a Sims 3 Strange Town and put the Kind Dairy there. And I've added to it. I put the cows in here and the cow thingy. But this was created by Aaron Roger 8i3. There's a couple different strange towns that are on the exchange. And this is the one that I got this from. It's the one that Aaron made. We can come over here and take a look. It looks, I changed it a little bit from what it originally was, besides just putting these things out here. What I've done, okay, this is about like what it looks like in the original one. It's got some fridges here. I really wish there was a way that we could just specify what could be sold here, so it could be yogurt and ice cream and not this other stuff. But, you know, or even better, if we could get somebody to transmogrify the ice cream truck and put it into an ice cream freezer instead and have ice cream freezers, that would be really cool. But anyway, let me turn on lights. I think there should be lights in here. Here's a light. Turn on all lights. Okay, so this is kind of what the original looked like, except I put the bar in here because I don't think there was a bar here. And I figured this would be a second bar that people could go to. And it had some weird things in it. It had this bedroom and this huge bathroom. I didn't change any of that, at least not in this iteration. Now, I remodeled it down the road in my game, like the second or third season. I remodeled it into something completely different, but mainly because people wouldn't come here. It was, we could treat it like an events center and we could throw parties and stuff here. But people didn't choose to come here. They chose to go to the pit stop instead. So I figured maybe this town's not big enough for two bars. So I changed this to something else later on. If we take a look over this way, we can see that there's a junkyard. This is Papa J's Salvage Yard. It was built by Fatness 1974 for Bayou Bijou, but I like it, and it fits really well for this town. So let's take a closer look. So you got your junk out here, obviously, and I think there's some spawners. You can also dumpster dive, and it's got some nice sculptures and stuff in the front here. And inside, there's this little office here with a computer and a bathroom, not a very clean one. And there's a little kitchen area over here and a little work area. But this has a little fridge and a coffee maker. And then there's another room over here. This is an outside bathroom. Get in through here. There's also an outhouse here. Now you can't get to this outhouse though because these boxes are in the way. So if you want to use that outhouse, you'll have to shuffle things around a little bit. And then there's this dumpster. You can do dumpster diving. And then there is a stairwell right here that goes down to a basement. And you can see here you've got some inventing tables. So you can collect your scrap upstairs and come down here and invent things. So it works out really well. Anyway, I believe that is all there really is to this town in the initial iteration. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the church and the cemetery. Let's go take a look at those real quick. Here's the church. Okay, I built this church for this world, and it's used, like I said, Widow Williams, Josie, comes over here. She throws a party once in a while on a Sunday, invites people over, and then she goes in and gives a sermon and stuff like that. Maybe I will send him here. Maybe it'll be easier. Okay, here we go. So there's a little bathroom right here in the corner. Here's the pews and the chairs, and it's set up for a wedding initially. So you can have weddings here, or you can come and give a sermon here. Later on, as all the old people started dying off, there were funerals held here, and I had some CC, and I put a little casket here, and we came and did a few funerals and things like that. Out here, we've got a little table if you get married and you want to put a cake out here, and some tables for people to sit at. But basically, it's kind of the community uh, gathering place for major events, births, deaths, and then church. Then over here, this is the cemetery. It was just a small lot. There was nothing here. It was just marked as being a cemetery. So I put the cemetery in. Um, Nothing fancy here. It just has the mausoleum, has some just empty graves here. Like I said, there's some people with graves in their inventories. You could bring them down and place them around here. That's what I did. And you can fish here. So uh, that's about it. There are a few beaches too. Like here's one beach. So if you had somebody who wanted to be a lifeguard, they could come out here. These aren't anything fancy. This one doesn't even have a bathroom. It's just basically you come out here, you got your bonfire, and you got a fire pit and some chairs, and you can go swimming. There's another one that's over here. It's a little bit more built out. It's got a little pier, and it's got a bathroom and a barbecue and picnic table. But again, nothing too fancy. It's just a small town. It's not like, oh, and I haven't shown you the festival lot. We'll take a quick look at that. But this one is also a beach. This is Mahan's Beach, but people just come out here and swim and hang out. And I just have a chair there. That's all I put out there. But it is a legit beach that the public can come to and swim in. All right, let's go take a look at the festival lot, and then we'll call it quits. Okay, so this is the festival lot, and it looks like that spawned here. I didn't remember that spawning here before. I think it spawned over by the Civic Center on my game, but it is what it is. It works here. So we are in the summer right now, and we've got our usual stuff. I've got the merry-go-round that's store content, face painting and photography, and the eating contest. This one is the summer festival for me. So I have a little stage here, and it's got, stuff for the band. We've got some popcorn and cotton candy. You can grill, you can purchase food, and we've also, this is store content, but you can also do some archery out here. Year round, we have this little community garden too on this lot where you can come and tend the garden, get some honey, whatever you need to do there. In the winter, it is a Christmas bazaar, and it's got little booths and things where you can buy Christmas presents, and we sit Santa up here in a Santa chair, and Christmas trees and all that kind of stuff. In the fall, it's got the haunted house and some of the fall things. And let's see, in the spring, it's got the spring things. But yeah, anyway, that's what we got. Hope you enjoyed the tour. If you are interested in this save file, or even just the map so you can make your own, I will try to put some links. They won't be real links, but it'll direct you to where you can go. You can copy it and paste it, because I am very new, so new that I don't have links yet. I think you have to do like 20 videos or something before you get links. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. If you want to see how the town's changed over time, I could do another video showing you where we are now and what's been added over the past couple seasons. Just let me know if that's something you would like me to do. Thank you.